If I ask you about your socks, you might think that I'm kidding around, but seriously, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? For some folks, socks are just the annoying piece of clothing that always gets lost in the dryer. Am I right? But for thousands of people in our country and most importantly, our community, fresh socks are a luxury. And the gift of a small pair of socks could be a huge opportunity for someone in need. So, how can you help? Well, that's where our next guest comes in. They can be of service. Let's welcome Jana Hart-Black, the founder and executive director of Bonfolk, and Kimberly Ha of Bonfolk Giving Good. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us today.
Yes. Now, Jana, tell us a little bit more about yourself and how did this idea of Bonfolk come about?
So I'm a New Orleans native. I went to Archbishop Chappelle High School. And then once I graduated high school, I wanted to move out of state to go to fashion design school. So I've always wanted to have my own company, and I was actually doing women's wear, women's dresses for a while. So I moved to Los Angeles to go to FIDM, the Fashion Institute out there, and then ended up living out there for 10 years. Designing for a women's clothing brand, but I always wanted to do more with my skills and my life and do something super fulfilling than fast fashion. So I took a trip home to visit my family and realized that nobody had socks. Like, there was no other sock brands out there, and I found out that socks are the #1 requested item in shelters. So I thought about it. My husband's a photographer, so we kind of joined forces and started Bonfolk in 2015, where we donate a pair of socks with every pair that we sell to nonprofits across the country.
That is amazing.
So,
now,
thank you.
I see these amazing socks in your hands. Tell us a little bit more about the socks that you use and you design, right? I hear you design them. And then there is a nonprofit attached to this as well?
Yes, so this is one of our top sellers. I brought this one out in 2016, and it's just been a fan favorite. Everybody loves the beignet and coffee design. Now we have over 150 designs that I do all myself in-house. We also make custom socks for different brands, like we did Preservation Hall this year. We did the RTA, the streetcar, the official streetcar sock, which is super cool because our logo is the streetcar, so it's inspired by our city. And then for every pair of our streetcar socks that we sold, we donated a pair to the Harry Thompson Center through our nonprofit. So we just launched our nonprofit last year, so we just made 1 year with Bonfolk Giving Good, and every pair of these that we sell, we give a pair to Giving Good, and then Giving Good distributes them to nonprofits across the country.
Wow. I was going to ask, tell us how that works. So I'm interested in a pair of beignet and coffee socks. So I buy those socks, and then from there is a pair of socks donated?
Yes.
Are those all Bonfolk socks as well that are donated?
Yes, so we made custom socks. Kim could tell you a little bit about those.
So the cool process about Bonfolk is you can find them in locally stores like Flirty Girl and Dirty Coast. Also, we're also in the Ogden and Noma. Also, if you're flying out and need a gift for your families, you can find us at the airport as well. But the cool thing is that every pair of socks sold, either adult or children's socks, we donate a pair of adult socks and we donate a pair of kids socks. So a lot of our biggest partners locally is, I'm pretty sure you know, the Mission of New Orleans, Grace at the Green Light, they come and pick up quarterly, and then we also, Harry Thompson Center is also a big partner of ours. So we donate probably around 5,000 pairs of socks monthly.
Wow.
But in total, since the beginning, Jana and I have donated over 835,000 pairs of socks. So we're so grateful that that socks are such a big need. And when I started with Jana, I just started as a coordination donator. And then last year, she was like, it's my dream to make us into a nonprofit. And we became a nonprofit. And since the nonprofit, we've learned about so many different nonprofits. It's not just like shelters, it's also inner city schools. We also donate to disaster relief efforts because you know hurricane season over here, when cities get torn up, like we always donate to them. We also donate to transitional facilities. We also donate to hospitals for cancer patients. So our socks go past the initial idea, and it's great because we just learn about the needs that the people need.
Yeah.
And it's nationwide.
Nationwide, we
We're
ship
doing it
all
nationwide.
across the country.